Good morning. Well, it's kind of afternoon, it's lunchtime. I'm back. This is Mentally Unstable Makeup. I am your host, Unstable Tony. Today, this full disclosure, okay, this is just my opinion. Don't come for me. I'm going to do my very last look with my Bloodlust palette. And the reason I say very last look is because if I'm being really honest, I don't really like it. Sorry. If you love it, that's awesome. Maybe I just don't know how to do makeup. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I love Jeffree Star. I've had all of his palettes. I've gotten rid of a couple of them that just weren't for me. Um I have a ton of his lippies. Like his liquid lips are probably in my top 5 favorite liquid lips of all time. But I just, as much as I wanted this so bad and the packaging and all of that, I don't love it. The formula to me, the mattes are kind of the same as his other palettes, but the shimmers for me just weren't my favorite. It could be because I don't know how to use them. I don't know, but I have so many other ones that I absolutely love that I'm just not loving this as much as I thought I was going to. So I'm going to do a full face today. If that doesn't interest you, then just fast forward through the foundation and brows and all of that jazz. But some of you guys were interested in a full face, so that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm on coffee cup number 3 already. I drink coffee like all day. It's kind of sad. It doesn't really wake me up. It just, I don't know. I'm just a coffee addict. And in all honesty, it's about 98% creamer and about 10% coffee. But what is your favorite coffee creamer? Tell me down below, like your favorite flavor. I'm a hazelnut fan. That's like my favorite. And I actually like the Great Value, I think it is. I don't know. It's whatever Walmart's generic creamer brand is. And that's my favorite. So the foundation that I'm going to use is the Found Sealer by Tarte, and it's the one that has the B in the name. And I can never remember. People keep asking me, Found Sealer, multitasking, broad spectrum, high performance, but it's got a B in the name of it. It's the one that has the mushroom extract or whatever in it. My shade is 13N, which is fair neutral. And I just take a pump on the back of my hand. Now, for years, because I'm a pasty girl and a redhead and I've got freckles and my veins are really blue, I thought I was cool toned. So I bought all my foundation, concealer, all that stuff for cool toned skin. But then I found it always turned orange, or it didn't blend well, or it didn't match me. So I started using neutral, like foundation for neutral skin tones. And I have found that it matches me better. I'm pretty sure I am cool toned, but for whatever reason, I get a better match with a neutral or natural, whatever. And as far as like finding my shade, I did use that. There's like this website, and I'll try to find it. If I can find it, I'll link it below. But you basically put in what foundation and what shade you're using, like brand and shade, and it will give you possible matches for other brands, what shade to get in other brands. One that I'm really interested in trying, because I've tried a bunch of foundations. One that I'm interested in trying is the Kat Von D, the Lock-It foundation. I've heard a lot of really good things about that foundation. And so I want to try it, but it's kind of expensive, and so I haven't pulled the trigger on it. And I know that people said that you can get samples from Sephora or whatever, but I don't have a Sephora near me. The closest one is all the way in Hickory, and I'm not driving all the way down there just for a sample of foundation. Not gonna do it. The website I can order stuff from, and that's typically, I'm more of an Ulta girl than I am a Sephora, and a lot of that is just because of the points. I get so many more points with Ulta, and I do wish Ulta had some brands though that Sephora has that Ulta doesn't, but for the most part, I prefer Ulta. Now, I do have an Ulta near me. However, them girls are bitches. I mean, I'm not trying to be ugly, and maybe those don't work there. I've not been in there in a long time. I don't know, but every time I go in there, like, I don't know, they're just really snooty and just like, can I help you? And that, don't be mean to me. Don't be mean to me. And then it didn't matter if I had a full face on or if I had no makeup on. I've also I also don't like going into the store because the way that they have their lighting, I have bought stuff that I swatched in the store and it looked great, and then I go home and put it on and it looks completely different. Anybody else run into that? Or am I just cray cray? I don't know. But as you can tell, I just bounce that all over my face. It gives good coverage, but it's not like it's, I'm going to say medium coverage. I mean, I still have my freckles and my spots and stuff, but I do it more to even out my skin. Plus, it has SPF in it, and I will say this, I'm allergic to most SPF lotion, like the sprays and stuff to try to keep you from burning. And I didn't have a reaction to this, so that was promising to be able to have SPF and not be broke out or burn or get a rash or whatever. Like, if I put SPF, like straight SPF spray, lotion, whatever, it burns immediately. I don't know what's in it, but it kills me. So my concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. I have tried so many different concealers, and I keep going back to this one. I do have the new e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer coming. I tried the original Camo Concealer because everybody raved about how good it was, but it dried my under eyes out really bad, and it creased for me, just my opinion, and it creased for me really bad. And it really sucks because just like this palette, there's so many people who love it and it just works so great for them. And even like influencers and you know, Instagram and Facebook and all of that, it fascinates the crap out of me how some things work so great for some people and some people hate it. Like even this Shape Tape. There's a lot of people who absolutely love this Shape Tape, and then there's people who hate it, who can't stand it. And it just fascinates the crap out of me that, you know, everybody's so different. So please don't let anything of my opinion deter you from trying something that you've been wanting to try. I wish there was a cheaper way to be able to do it, and samples is probably the cheapest way you're going to be able to do it if you have a Sephora or an Ulta near you to where you can get samples. But if you are interested in something, just try it. A lot of like Ulta, Sephora, and all that, you can always return it. Now, I suck at returning stuff. If I don't like something, I end up gifting it to somebody in the makeup group, which brings me to this. This is my last look with my Bloodlust, and then Miss Gloria Ramos. Hey, girl, hey. She'll be getting this. I have already promised it to her. We've exchanged makeup many times before, but she wants to try this palette really bad, but didn't want to fork out the money. And I'm not a fan of it. So I'm going to be sanitizing and giving it to her, but she needs to send me her new address because she just moved into her new house. Yay! So excited for her. I'm hoping that we get a tour or she at least shows us her little makeup setup, but super excited for her. So Gloria, DM me your new address, baby cakes, because you get in the palette finally. So that is my foundation concealer. I'm going to go ahead and do my contour and my blush, and then I'll do my eyebrows. Sometimes I go ahead and do my eyebrows. It just kind of depends on how I feel that day. I'm going to use, and if you've watched my last couple of videos, you know, the Juno and Co Cherry Bomb palette. I'm loving this. I can't believe how much I love it, except for the fact that it doesn't like to open. That's my only negative. I will link this. Look at me sounding like a influencer. I'll leave the link down below. It is dusty. But the color is awesome for me. It's brown. It doesn't go orange. It's just enough to add color to me without making me look like I have this big brown streak in front on my cheek. I don't know why this particular one in this palette, because none of the other ones are dusty like that. None of the other ones are like that. It's just this brown contour shade. Maybe it's a bronzer. I don't even know. It might even be a bronzer instead of a contour, but I use it on a contour. Whatever works, right? So, she dusty, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color for me. The blush is gorgeous. Remember what I said, though, in my last video? It's super pigmented, though, so I dust it off and I tap it on my hand a little bit just to knock off some of that pigment. And this blush has a little bit of shimmer to it. Not a whole lot. Not like it's a highlight, but it does have a little bit of shine to it. So it catches light really pretty. I don't know if you can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. But it's pretty. Can you see it on the back of my hand? Not really. It has a sheen to it. Now, for highlight though, I am going to take my sponge. These are Juno and Co, by the way. If you don't have one of these, it's the cloud ones, not the micro fiber ones. If you don't have one of these, you should try it. If you use a beauty blender, I love these. And what I love the most about them is I've washed this thing a gabillion times and it's not cracked or split open or anything like that. I love that because some of my other ones, like my Eco Tools one, my Real Techniques one, even my name brand beauty blender, my Jeffree Star, after I've washed them a couple times, they've cracked and I hate that. I'll throw them away. I'll throw them away and use a new one. So for highlight, I'm going to use my new favorite, which is the Give Me Glow White Noise. If you haven't watched this video of mine with using this in the Give Me Glow eyeshadow palette, you should. Because this highlight is amazing. It's super, super bright, but it also like just melts into the skin. I don't know how to describe it. My original favorite was the Jaclyn Hill. Don't come for me. But since I've started using this one, I love it. So pretty. So pretty. So if you haven't tried Give Me Glow's highlighters or shadows, you should. I highly recommend them. My brows, I'm going to use my iconic London brow cushion, and I use a angled, this is a BH Cosmetics, it's a stiff angled brush. This is in the shade medium, and I just kind of tap into the lighter side and then just a little bit in the darker side just to kind of mix them. And I can't talk while I do this. I'm sorry. I just follow the line of my actual brow. And then I take the brush where that line's at and I pull up just to help fill in. I'll go back and back and back and back. And I'm just adding a little bit, like when I'm dabbing this brush into this cushion, I'm barely dabbing it. It's very pigmented and very, I'm going to say liquidy. So you want to be careful. If you put too much, it's okay because you can take a brow spoolie and just brush it and it will help take some of the pigment off. But I just keep dipping in and I'm using the angle of this brush to help shape. But I'm just filling in. I've got a couple of gaps in my brows where I was a rambunctious kid and I have scarring. And so there are spots in my brow that will not grow hair at all. So I have to kind of fill it in. And then I'll do the same over here. Now my brows are not even on their own. I do try to pluck them as much as I can to try to even them out, but I don't ever do it right. I don't go and get my brows done. I need to, but I don't know. I just been plucking them. So I try to keep the shape the way that it is, even though it's not necessarily even. But I feel like that makes it look like a real brow with it not being even. And everybody's like, oh, they're supposed to be sisters, not twins or whatever. But mine are more like inbred cousins. I don't know. And I'm just trying to fill them in. Again, if this part bores you or you're not interested in this at all, just fast forward. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I can't tell that you did it. No worries. And does anybody, when I'm doing my brows, I guess because I'm keeping my eyes open for such a long time because I'm really paying attention to what I'm doing and I'm staring, but my eyes water so bad when I'm doing my brows. No, just me? Okay. If you ever get to where it's too bad uneven, you can always take the tip of your sponge that has concealer on it and you can just press it really fine and just press it really hard and basically kind of like Mr. Clean Magic erase it off. Okay, so that's that. I am going to take this and just go over my eyes one more time because I'm getting ready to do my eyeshadow. I'm getting ready to do my eyeshadow and I just want to make sure that there's no creasing of the concealer. I don't know if you can see it, but I have glue from where I put on lashes yesterday stuck to my lid. And it won't come off. And that will hold shadow big time. So that eye's going to be funny looking, but I don't care. Okay. So I'm just kind of going over it again, just making sure there's no creasing. I do not set my concealer. I like it kind of sticky tacky. I feel like it holds the shadow better. Okay, so going back in. I will say this too. That's that contour all over. Told you. She dusty. That's another reason why I don't like this palette is because it doesn't fold back and it's kind of like bulky, weird to kind of hold and do your makeup, but I have like been doing it and smashed my finger. So that's annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. So one of my favorite shades in here, and I do love this shade, is this Scandal Water. So I'm going to use it as my transition shade or my first shade. So I'm just using a fluffy blending brush. I think this is a Kaleidos. It is, which Kaleidos has amazing brushes. I bought them just because they were Kaleidos, but I actually really like them. So I'm going to dip in to Scandal Water, which is like this lavendery purple shade. I do enjoy this shade. It's pigmented. It blends great. It goes on well. Some of the mattes in here, don't come from me, just my opinion. Some of the mattes in here suck balls. My Vile Serpent, which is a gorgeous, 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 like teal color, it sucks. It doesn't blend very well at all. And it's patchy. I had a really hard time with that one. It might be my eyeball. It might be my concealer. I don't know, but I've used it a couple of times, and every time I've used it, I've had issues out of it. I was excited for it because there is a shade very similar to that in the Blue Blood palette, and it is one of my favorite shades in that palette. So I was really excited to have like another tealy color, because even though they're close in shade, they're not the same. So I was excited to have another tealy shade, but that matte sucks. Sorry, Jeffrey. Don't come for me. I do love, like, if I ever got big, that would be one of my dream PR lists to get on. I know he does PR, but I'm not sure how they choose who gets what. Probably the bigger influencers that have like a gabillion followers, like Nikki Tutorials and all of that. He probably ain't sending nothing to me with my 140 subscribers. But, you know, a girl can dream, can't she? So as you can see, that went on great. It's a beautiful color. It is a little bit darker on the eye than it is in the pan, but it's beautiful. I really enjoy it. So now that I have that blended out the way that I want to, I need to get a little bit smaller fluffy brush. So I've got this one, and this is a BH Cosmetics, the stone brushes. These are really great brushes. If you can catch these on sale, get this set. It's really great. And I'm going to go into Blood Queen, which is the darker purple that's in this palette. I dropped it. Hang on. I have used almost all of these colors. See, it's almost pinky, not dark purple like it is in the pan. This isn't exactly the color I wanted. I wanted a dark purple, but we're going to go with it. It does blend well. I will say that. It's blending beautifully. It's very pigmented. I don't have any fallout, so that's good. But look how it took this purpley lavender and turned it into a pink eye. My favorite purples that are purple, I mean, they're true to being purple, is the Menagerie Violet Ink palette. If you don't have that palette, you should get it. It is beautiful. The mattes blend like a dream. They're true to the color that they are in the pan. The shimmers are amazing. Highly, highly, highly recommend that palette. And I think it's only like $19.99. Like it's only 20 bucks, but it stays sold out a lot. So you've really got to kind of watch the site to be able to get it. So I'm not going to pick up any additional product, but I'm going to go back into that first shade just because I did lose some of it while putting that purple that looks pink on. Plus, I'm just trying to use it to help blend a little bit. I am going to tap in just a little bit more on this side just because I lost some of it. I just want to be sure to bring it back. Okay. So here is my dilemma. So some of these shimmers, and I'm going to swatch the 4. So they look beautiful like this. And if you swatch them on your hand, they are very pretty. These two have kind of the same formula. These two are more of like a topper shade. I say that like I know what I'm talking about. But they're just not as, I don't know if you can see it, but they're more glittery and more sheer than these two are. Don't get me wrong. These are gorgeous colors. They're just not the same consistency and formula that I feel like his other palettes are. And that's just my unpopular opinion, so don't come for me. But I'm not real happy with them. Are they pretty? Yeah. Have I seen people do amazing, beautiful looks with them? Yeah. Have I been able to knock out some looks with them? Yeah. But they're just not my favorite. So I am going to use my NYX glitter glue, and that's just because I know that these shimmers are going to need it. That's not anything out of the ordinary. I typically use glitter glue when I use a shimmer, or I will be sure to spray my brush really good when I use a shimmer. So this isn't anything that's any different out of my routine. And I'm just going to tap this on like the inner corner and bring it up a little bit. Almost like if I was doing a cut crease. I'm going to try to avoid putting any on that outside area just because I'm going to go back in with that dark purple that looks pink. So I'm just putting this on the inner corner and the center. And I'm just using an Alter Ego 6 brush. It's just a flat brush. I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to dip directly into the shimmer and put it on my lid. And I think I'm going to go in to take the crown, which is this top one. And that's just because when I swatch it and when I use it, it just is the most pigmented. And it's crumbling. And I'm just going to dab, 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 dab in the center. And then start pulling it into the corner. Is it a beautiful lavender shimmer? It is. Is it my favorite? No. And don't come for me just because of my opinion, but I hate that I don't like this palette because I wanted it so bad. And what's worse is I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors to wear. I think it's the most flattering on me. It makes my green eyes, hazel eyes, green, whatever color they decide to be that day, pop. So, I love purple, but I don't know. Just my opinion. Okay, so I'm actually going to go into Dungeon, which is the darkest. I'm going to use that same brush that I used for the purple that turned pink, just because I need a darker. And I'm going to put that on the outer edge, and I'm going to pull it into my crease, just because I needed a darker purple. I probably should have used this one first. This one is a true purple. Like when you put it on, it is true. It's not that pinky burgundy shade. It is a true dark purple. But it can get kind of patchy if you're not careful with it. And I'm just gonna kind of dab and pull this outer edge where I stopped that glitter glue, just so there's not such a drastic line right there. And the shimmer is transferring up as my eyes open. It's transferring up into my crease. Can you see the little patch? But that's just because I have hooded eyes. Can you see it right there? That's just because I have hooded eyes. A lot of eyeshadows do that. So I just have to try to keep going back over it. And try to fill it in. It is what it is. So for my bottom lash line, I'm going to use Serpent. Just because I want so bad to love that color. So I'm going to use a small, it's still fluffy, but it's rounded and it's small. And what is on my hand? Ew. I don't even know what that was. So I am going to go into Serpent. Just because I love teal and purple together. And because I'm using this on my lower lash line, I don't have to worry about it being patchy or not working, because it'll just lay on my lower lash line. See? As a lower lash line color, I enjoy it. When I've tried to use it on my top lid, I had all kinds of trouble. But it's a gorgeous deep teal. Gorgeous color. I wish I didn't have so much trouble out of it. Gloria, you're probably going to get it and knock some amazing looks out, and I hope you do. So I'm going to take that original, the one I did the transition shade in, I'm going to dip back into Scandal Water. And I'm going to use that to just fluff out this bottom lash line. And if y'all notice, I do a lot of this by feel, not so much by look, which is probably dangerous, but that's just the way I've always done it. So I'm just smudging that right up and blending into my lower lash line. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm gonna put this up. Send me your address, Gloria. I'm gonna send it to you. I was waiting for you to move and be situated. So for my bottom lash line, my liner, I'm going to use this teal. Yep. This is a Laura Geller, and I don't even think they sell this anymore, because the last time I went to look for it, I couldn't find it. But it's got like a wing liner felt tip on one side, and then the other side is a big fat eyeliner crayon. And this is in the shade teal. I don't think it's available anymore. and I'm sorry, but I love it. And when I'm out of these, I'm going to be sad because I use the crap out of this liner. I have the teal, I've got an emerald, and a silver. Just a beautiful teal shade. Now I'm going to do mascara. So for my bottom lashes, I use Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're buying mascara, buy the travel size. You have to throw them out every 3 months anyways. You are never going to use all that's in these little travel sizes. They're cheaper. If you don't throw yours out and you leave them and you use them longer, at least wash the wands when you wash your brushes. That will help keep down the bacteria. It will also help get rid of the clumps that develop after mascara starts to get old. Do I keep mine a little? Do I throw it out every 3 months? Probably not. When they start to get a little drier and they start to clump up really bad and kind of flake, that's when I know I need to get rid of them. So I try really hard not to buy a full size, but there are some brands that only sell a full size. And then some full sizes I got like in kits and stuff. So I use that on my bottom lash line. And then I go back with my Bad Gal Bang. And I try to take the goop off the end of it. And I go back over it. I feel like the Bad Gal Bang adds a lot of length, whereas the Tarte adds volume and fullness. And I don't know if it's translating like that on camera, but in person it is. For my top lashes, I'm going to use my Wicked Lash Mascara by Merle Norman, but I am looking for a new mascara, so if you have any mascara recommendations, let me know. I like the big fat brush heads like this. I like waterproof, and I like ones that don't clump and don't flake off. I've been using this forever just because it gives me all of those things, but the only way to buy it is to go to somebody who sells Merle Norman, or luckily we have a little store here in town. I mean, I don't know how she's holding up with all this quarantine stuff, but that's where I've been getting it. But I have a feeling she's not going to be around much longer, and I'm not going to be able to get this. But it separates great. It adds volume. It doesn't clump them together. It doesn't flake off. Pretty sure it's waterproof. And if you notice, I put it at the base and kind of rock it and go up. And that's to get it to the base of the lashes, and it helps kind of separate. It also helps pull them up. And because I wore lashes yesterday, my lashes are kind of smush down a little bit because of the glue and all that. So I will take a clean spoolie and I will put it at the base of my lashes and just kind of press up a little bit. And that is kind of like what the curlers do, only I have ripped my lashes out with the curlers before. So I am scared to use them. But that's it. Okay, so for my lip, I don't know what color to use. I am going to line them. And I need to open this new one because my other one is completely out. So I had a backup. This is the LA Girl, which I think they might still be on sale. They were on sale on Ulta. But LA Girl lip liners are amazing. I love them. This is the Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Liner in the shade Keep It Spicy. It's one of my favorites. It's just a nudie mauve liner. And I line my lips before I put a liquid lip on. It helps keep the liquid lip from bleeding. It also helps keep it on. It also helps me know where to shape it. I don't know if you can tell, but one of my sides is higher than the other. So when I line my lip, I kind of have to draw the other side. Also, if you notice, I follow the line, this line right here, and I go just a little bit under. So I guess technically I overline my lips. Sorry I couldn't talk and do that at the same time. If you notice, my lips are super pale too. Can you tell? It's because I have foundation on them. When I'm doing my face, I just dab foundation on my lips too. It helps keep the liquid lip on. So I have this set. If I'm being real honest, I only really like a couple of the shades. Don't come for me. So, what color do I want to use? I think I'm going to do... I don't know. Berries on Ice is too pinky. Okay, this is Scorpio. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Royal Armour in the center to brighten it up. So I'm going to take these, always shake them. I know it's harder to do with these little ones. And then I kind of move my wand around a little bit in the in the tube. I take the doe foot, the point of it, and I line my lip again. And I'm just covering that lip liner. And then I'll do it again on the top. So I line and then fill in. And I love Scorpio. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful color. And it's kind of grungy, which is right up my alley. So then I'm going to take, Royal Armour, which is a metallic-y, glittery. And I'm just going to dab that in the center. On the top and bottom. Then I'm going to take my finger and just spread it. And it's just enough to add a little bit of sparkle. Okay. Let me put that up. Hang on. Dadgum, this has turned into a long-ass video, and I'm sorry. If you're still with me, hey! Thanks for still watching. I am going to do my highlight, and I'm going to go back to my... Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the Juno and Co. If I can get it open again. Okay, and I'm going to use that really glittery white one. And this is just a small circle brush. I think this is a Jaclyn Hill. I don't recommend Jaclyn Hill's brushes. And if I can show you, when I wash them, hang on. When I wash them, the wood splits. I don't know if you can see it. The wood splits and peels off. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. To be as much as those brushes are, should not have that problem. So I'm just putting this in my inner corner. Make a little boop. You can also spray your brush with setting spray if you want, and it will make that a little bit more intense. But it's pretty intense as it is. I did get it too far up here. So I'm going to take that brush and I'm just going to brush over it a little bit just to blend it better. I'm going to take that goat brush from Sonia G. I'm going to take the more champagne-y shade, and I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight. I think I'm using that brush just because it was so expensive. And I feel like I want to get my money's worth, even though it came in a mystery box. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. It's okay. Okay, so there's my final look. Is it a pretty... Look. What the crap? See what I mean? See what I mean? And that's just because of my eye. That has nothing to do with the product. It's just how my eye always does. It's just annoying. Anyways, is it a gorgeous palette? Yes. In my personal opinion, it does not perform as good as his other palettes. Just my opinion. Is it being gifted to Gloria? Yes, it is. So I hope she enjoys it. I hope she gets more use out of it than I did. I can't wait to see her looks. My stipulation anytime I give anybody anything is they have to send me a look that they did with it. So, but this is it. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, subscribe, hit the bell, share with your friends. I think that's it. Is that all the YouTubers say? I think so. But anyways, if you enjoyed it, comment below, let me know. I'll keep making them anyways, just because it's therapeutic for me. Love yourselves, love each other, and try to enjoy your quarantine. Bye.